Have you ever looked up at the stars and wondered, how did it all begin? Not just the universe, but us, life. How did a barren, rocky planet like Earth transform into the vibrant, living world we know today? Let's travel back in time, about 4.5 billion years, to the very beginning of our planet's story. Imagine a young Earth, a chaotic and hostile place. It was a molten ball of rock, constantly bombarded by asteroids and comets. The atmosphere was a toxic mix of gases like methane, ammonia, and water vapor with almost no oxygen. It was a far cry from the blue marble we see from space today. But hidden within this chaos, the first seeds of life were being sown. As the planet slowly cooled, something amazing happened. The water vapor in the atmosphere condensed and fell as rain, not for days, but for millions of years. This relentless downpour formed the first oceans. These primordial oceans weren't clear and blue like today. They were a murky, reddish-brown soup, rich in dissolved iron and other minerals. Scientists call this the primordial soup. Now, this is where things get really interesting. In this warm, chemical-rich soup, energized by lightning strikes and intense ultraviolet radiation from the sun, simple organic molecules started to form. Think of them as the basic building blocks of life. Amino acids, which are the components of proteins, and nucleotides, the components of DNA and RNA. Experiments like the famous Miller-Urey experiment in the 1950s showed that these building blocks could indeed form spontaneously under early Earth conditions. It was like the universe was running a giant chemistry experiment, and the prize was life itself. By having the building blocks isn't enough. You need a way to put them together. How did these simple molecules organize into something as complex as a living cell? One leading theory points to deep-sea hydrothermal vents. These are like underwater geysers, spewing out hot, mineral-rich water from the Earth's interior. The chemical gradients and energy found at these vents could have provided the perfect cradle for life, a place where those simple molecules could link up to form more complex structures, like proteins and RNA. RNA is a fascinating molecule. Some scientists believe in an RNA world hypothesis. Before DNA, which stores our genetic information today, RNA might have been the star of the show. It's a bit of a jack of all trades. It can store information like DNA and also act as an enzyme to speed up chemical reactions, a job now mostly done by proteins. So these early RNA molecules could have been self-replicating, making copies of themselves and kickstarting the process of evolution. From these self-replicating molecules, the first simple cells, or protocells, eventually emerged. These weren't much more than a collection of organic molecules enclosed within a simple membrane, like a tiny bubble. This membrane was a game changer. It separated the inside from the outside, creating a stable internal environment where the chemistry of life could unfold, protected from the chaos of the primordial soup. These were the earliest ancestors of all life on Earth. For billions of years, life remained simple, mostly single-celled organisms floating in the oceans. But then, another revolutionary event occurred. A new type of bacteria evolved a remarkable new trick: photosynthesis. They learned how to use sunlight to create energy, and as a byproduct, they released a waste gas. That gas was oxygen. This great oxidation event was a disaster for much of the early life that had evolved without oxygen. But for others, it was an incredible opportunity. Oxygen is a powerful source of energy, and its rise in the atmosphere paved the way for more complex, multicellular life to evolve. It literally changed the air we breathe and set the stage for the explosion of diversity we see today, from tiny insects to giant whales, and eventually to us. So, the next time you take a deep breath, remember the incredible journey that led to this moment. From a fiery ball of rock to a chemical soup, from self-replicating molecules at the bottom of the ocean to the first breath of oxygen, the story of life is a story of transformation, resilience, and cosmic chance. We are the result of billions of years of cosmic and chemical evolution, a living testament to our planet's incredible history.